Super Dave here with another Super Dave review. Super Dave here with another exciting Masters of the Universe Masterverse review. That's right, we're straying away from the Revelations action figures and actually getting deeper into this line with the multiverse in Motu. And that's right, so we're going to be looking at the new Eternia He-Man. Check him out. You see the new logo down here? That is so cool. See that artwork over here on the side that we've been seeing in this line of Masterverse figures? This is going back to like the classic original artwork designs of what they were trying to see what He-Man would look like. And this goes along with that, kind of like our Demo Man and the Classics line that we'll be looking at Skeletor later, kind of inspired in that. But this is what, you know, when they were determining what He-Man would look like a barbarian or that tank thing or that space looking, almost Mandalorian helmet looking He-Man that we saw actually rendered in the Classics and that 3-pack. But you can also pause and read this bio if you'd like. Not sure exactly the storyline that comes from, but this is an awesome looking action figure. Let's go ahead and break him out of his plastic prison and check him out. And here we are in New Eternia so that we can take a look at Viking He-Man today. And he is awesome looking. And we're going to first take a look at his accessories. In our Viking He-Man, first of all, comes with 2 sets of hands, this weapon-yielding hand and a open palm hand, a tightly gripped fist hand, and another weapon-holding hand. Check out that axe that he comes with. That's different than what we have seen, as well as this beautiful head sculpt with the helmet. That helmet is glued on. You see the type of insignia and logo that is in the center of He-Man's chest here, and the different kind of chest armor and shoulder armor that he comes with. Even his belt and his loincloth are different. Instead of it being like a fur, it looks almost like a leather, tanning type leather there. He also comes with a strapped sheath on his boot with a little dagger in there, and that does come out. Check out this new head sculpt without the helmet. There's been some controversy on different ones liking or not liking this head sculpt. Some have compared it to like an older He-Man, and that may be what they were going with here. Can't decide which head sculpt I like best of these two. I think I almost like the one with the helmet on it better, but they are nice looking. They look good. Well done head sculpts. And then last but not least, our Viking He-Man comes with a different kind of He-Man sword, power sword. And wow, this is nice. Got like a leather wrap that's a different color on the handle. And I've got it looking like it's stuck in this rock here, but it's really neat, and it's got a shimmer to it, a little bit more so than the Revelation sword. And we'll compare those in a little bit here, but you see how different it is. May almost look like the Alkyla sword. I'm not sure. I have to look at those again, but that rounds out his accessories. And speaking of this new power sword, I also wanted to show you that this new Eternia He-Man has this really nice leather looking detail on the back of his chest armor strap, and you can slide the power sword right in that nice handy dandy little place right there. Isn't that cool? So that looks really good, and you see how good that looks there coming up even behind him there. I just think that looks great. That's a little detail that adds some quality to this action figure, in my opinion. Just really a solid action figure all the way around. I mean, I really have to give this guy a 10 out of 10. Just excellent all the way around for this price point and this quality of action figure in our He-Man here. Now let's take a look at our Viking He-Man's Articulation. Let's bring him on in here closer so we can get a closer look at our He-Man here. New Eternia He-Man, and he's able to look up about that much. He's able to look down a good amount. He does have some head pivoting going on. He's going to be able to turn side to side. Very nice head sculpt. The helmeted version operates for the most part the same way. I will notice here that these shoulder armor pieces are removable. They are actually kind of threaded into that strap on the armor, the chest armor, and you can remove the chest armor. You see, if you pull that strap out of those loops, then you would be able to pull this out of the straps and remove those, but they are able to get out of the way because they are attached like that, so that is nice. I do wish they would make these chest armor look a little bit more realistic, less plasticky, just a little bit more metal or metallic looking, but there is a shimmer in there. You see the different type of logo they went with here, and so that's nice. Of course, the arms will go 360. You have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. This strap is removable, and you see that's also different from what we saw with the other He-Man action figures we've received so far. Again, horizontal hinges. He does have the ball joint that is very nice, that gives him good range, being able to go side to side, backwards about that much, forwards about that much, and can turn from side to side like that as well, crunch to the side. Does have that, of course, waist swivel as well. Going on to his legs, he can get full splits. You just have to kind of pull it a little bit further. I don't know, that loincloth is actually preventing it from going much further. There's some space there, so you'd be able to get a little further than that, but that's about as far as he's going to go safely without pulling something out of whack. He does have thigh swivel there, double jointed knees, of course. He's going to be able to get those up a good amount. He has boot cut. He's going to be able to get full tiptoes as well as go up a good amount and have great rocker joints and the peg hole in the bottom of his boot. So that is nice. Good work, and it's just an excellent amount of articulation. I believe it's fair amount, and it's in line with the rest of this line, these figures, these Masterverse figures, and I really like the articulation. And it does look like to me, and we'll do some comparisons later, that this head sculpt is a bit larger than the first He-Man head sculpt. So I like that, especially having these big, bulky, shoulder armor. All right, let's go ahead and go to our comparisons now. And here are the three types of heads we've gotten for He-Man so far. You have this new Eternia head, which does look a little bit more elongated and older, as some have mentioned. But notice also it's a different skin tone, and this skin tone does photo and video a lot better than this one. This one always tends to have a brighter yellow hue to it. It's worse in lighting and on camera than it is in person, but it is hard to photo sometimes. This one, I'm not having that problem. You can tell already that skin tone is a little less yellow, a little bit more of a tan skin type look, and looks really good. I did not realize it was going to be that big of a difference. But notice in the face here, this one does look younger and a tad smaller. And then here's the head sculpt that came with our Faker over here, and some are using this as their main He-Man head, and he's certainly looking good too. You can certainly use that head for He-Man. Only difference is he does have red eyes, and that face also, it looks very similar to the face that we have on our Savage He-Man as well, with the long hair. So that pretty much is the same face, but with the Savage He-Man with long hair. And then if you're familiar with the customizer that goes by Hordak MX on Instagram, this is my all-time favorite He-Man head in this line so far, and he makes it. And I think he looks really good. I love this He-Man head. It's my favorite, so that's the one that I go to for my He-Man head. I just think that one looks great. Not sure how it'll look on that skin tone. May have to end up getting another one from him if he's changed that skin tone to match this other He-Man, so just using his body maybe. But there again, you've got to choose, which loincloth do you like the best. I've customized this one to add some shading to it. As you see, the original ones like back here were more almost like a, I don't know, a toy yellow. And I tried to shade this one look better. And I think I might do the same thing with this one, even though it is a different color of gold here on our Viking He-Man, and then this loincloth is more like a smooth, almost leather instead of a furry loincloth like we're used to. But I do like it. It looks neat. It's different, and you can, you know, swap things out and make the He-Man that you want. And then we've got that 40th anniversary one coming out soon that really looks promising. Excited about checking him out. Think he has better abs too. But anyway, let's go ahead and compare the swords, and then we'll get back to comparing some of the action figures themselves. All right, so Viking He-Man and Revelation He-Man are modeling these swords for us, but let's go ahead and see if we can't get them side by side here so you can really tell what's happening. And you can tell a big difference between these two swords. This one looks more like the one that appeared in the Revelation cartoon series with the brown handle and the shorter little hilt areas here. It's kind of gray here, and then it goes in the metallic. This one is more metallic all the way through, and then it has more of a tan wrap, and it looks even more realistic here, I think. And this one kind of looks, I don't know, a little bit more reminiscent of maybe the classic swords. We'll have to check that out. But really, this is different. I mean, this looks different, and I like it. They are pretty much the same, let's see, yeah, the same length there. And but that is just really cool that they gave us a new variation of the power sword. And here is 4 of the swords. You have the Alcala sword here, the classic sword, this Viking He-Man sword that we're viewing today, and then the Revelation style sword. And then here was the Club Grayskull, or more the Filmation style sword here that came with our Club Grayskull He-Man. And so you can see the different variation of swords. And then also let's take a look at the 2 different Viking He-Mans here. And you see this one that is definitely based on the rendering of the original, trying to decide what He-Man was going to look like. And then Classics released him and called him the Viking He-Man. I believe it was his name there. But the same kind of helmet, kind of, you know, idea, even though this helmet is definitely different. You can see that. Let's go ahead and bring them in close for as the face sculpts, and you can see a big difference. Classics, there is a quality to Classics figures that is above and beyond these Masterverse figures, but for the price point, I think these do a great job, because remember, these were anywhere from $35 to $40 when they were first released. And but then of course the articulation is a little dated, but the quality and the sculpts that we got from this line were just incredible. Very thankful for my Classics, but I'm also loving these new action figures from the Masterverse line. This guy just looks really cool, I think. Now, our Viking He-Man did come with a axe, but did not come with the cape, leather, you know, cape, pelt, nor did he come with a shield. And you see the different kind of loincloth as well. This one is the leathery type covering, but it's long with tatters in it. And he also did not come with a dagger on his boot like our new one came with. So I mean, they made little tweaks, but I like it. It's cool. Let's do some more comparisons. And here's our different He-Man heads. We have our vintage looking head, which is my favorite head of all times. And then we have the new Viking head, the original Classics head, and then the one that looks more Filmation. And in Filmation world, that's my favorite one right there by Super 7. I liked that one personally better than the Mattel Club Grayskull one. That was me, though. I know some people disagree, but I mean, you have to decide which of these you like. I mean, it's amazing how many different incarnations of He-Man heads we've gotten. And of course, we also got the Dolph Lundgren head sculpt. Interesting to note here, of course, you've seen how the Masterverse Viking He-Man and all the Masterverse He-Mans are taller a bit from the Classics line, except for this Dolph Lundgren. Because of the way they did his legs, the longer legs, he is about the same height as our Masterverse figures. That's interesting, but the Dolph Lundgren one definitely has a lot more of a realism, both to his sword, his armor, and etc. And here's our Viking New Eternia He-Man next to a Revelation Skeletor with a Hordak MX head sculpt custom. And he's holding, of course, the crystal ball axe that came with one of the other Skeletors, or actually I think that actually came with Plundor, didn't it? Yeah. But you see what they look like there as they face off, and I've got our Viking New Eternia He-Man holding the little dagger from his boot there. You see what size that is. That does come out of that booth there, that boot strap little sheath. And so they're just looking cool. And thank you so much for joining us for this review. Please like, comment if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't, and come back and see us next time for another Super Dave review. Go ahead and enjoy these photos in the photo gallery.